Is Caribbean Heritage Month, and starting next week, you can celebrate with the Charleston Carifest. Lorna Shelton Beck is joining us with more. Tell us about this organization and why you're involved with this organization as well. It seems like it's really cool, and some people call it the Caribbean, but I was told it's called Caribbean because it was actually founded by the Carib Indians, correct?
Well, in the Caribbean,
yes,
we say Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
Outside of the Caribbean, people tend to say Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
So we accept both.
Yeah.
We accept both.
Especially when our dollars go down there and spend some money down there.
It helps.
Yeah.
But Caribbean American, and it's Caribbean American Heritage Month. And this started back in 2006 when President Bush signed a proclamation making June Caribbean American Heritage Month. So this is a time when we celebrate our union, we celebrate our contribution to the United States. Right now, Broadway is riding high with Hamilton, and I don't know if many people know that Hamilton was actually born in the country of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Oh, wow.
So he's actually from the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah. So this year, for our 11th year, we'll have it actually starts this week. You said next week, but it actually starts on Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday, we'll start with the opening ceremony and the reception at the College of Charleston in North Charleston.
Okay.
They have a new campus, and so we'll be there. And our speaker is coming from New York University, Dr. Asia Khan. Our theme for this year is we celebrate our indentured heritage. So at the end of slavery, the planters needed workers, and they actually had to look outside of the Caribbean for people to come to work. So we had people that came from Portugal, from England, from Ireland, from Germany, all over the world, but the big importation came from China and India.
Oh, wow.
And so they came as indentured servants. Well, you know, those planters were tricky. So they didn't pay them enough for them to save to pay their passage back. So it meant that our population changed. And so instead of, we had the native Indians, those that were left that weren't killed off by Columbus, we had the Africans, we had the Europeans, and then we had the people from India, and people from China that formed the composition of people of the Caribbean. So this year we are celebrating our ancestors from India and from China that have contributed to the culture of the Caribbean.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I understand you've got a parade coming up on Saturday. Tell us about that.
We have a parade on Saturday.
People in costume.
People in costumes. And Dr. Rudke, he is the president of the Greater Charleston Indian Association, will be our Grand Marshal. So we're honoring our Indian and Chinese ancestors, and they will represent them in the parade, starting from the museum. We come down John Street, go down King Street to Sumter, and then from there we go to Brittlebank Park. And so we're inviting the community to come out and watch our parade. We're further inviting them to come to Brittlebank Park. The parade will start at 4, and they'll get to the park by 5. The festivities will start in the park at 5, where we'll have the Festival Village. We have an international soca artist that will be performing, King Dansky. He was a soca monarch, and people in the Caribbean know that soca is actually carnival music. So he'll be there with his high energy performance to get the crowd jumped up. And then we'll have
a lot of horns going on, horns and drums.
Well, horns and drums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, whistles. And then we'll have our local dub plates that will follow through for the rest of the night.
Local group, that's great. We're running out of time.
We have Indian dancers, African dancers, and contribution from the Indian Society.
And there at Brittlebank Park, I'm sure they will have some Caribbean eats as well that people can buy.
Authentic Caribbean food, arts and craft, and other vendors, and we'd want people to come out.
Wonderful. Glad to have you here with us again today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stick with us. We got more coming up in just a moment.